With Season of the Haunted, Bungie added weekly rotating raids into the game where players can jump in and farm loot from each encounter until their heart's content. It also opens up every challenge, meaning you can secure double drops for each encounter by completing its challenge. Hi, it's Pigeon, and today I want to talk about the best unique loot to chase from the weekly raid rotators. I'll do these in the order they appear as a weekly rotator, starting with Last Wish. And sadly there's not a lot to be found here. Last Wish is unique, wherein every encounter has a chance to drop every single weapon that's available in the raid. Nation of Beasts, the ARC 140 RPM hand cannon, drops primarily from the Morgoth encounter. Look out for roles such as Outlaw with either Rampage or even Explosive Payload, and if you're lucky, the curated role can drop fully masterworked with the Outlaw Dragonfly role. The only other drop of Deem worth chasing here is for the Transfiguration Scout Rifle, which drops from the Shuro-Chi boss fight. I actually have a whole other video on my channel about this, so check it out, link below. Next up, we're visiting the Garden of Salvation raid, and there's a good few weapons to add to your arsenal here. From the first encounter, we have the Accrued Redemption Kinetic Precision Bow. It's still the only precision frame bow in the game that can roll Archer's Tempo and Explosive Arrowhead. Spec for draw time or reload, and this is an amazing bow to have for endgame, especially when bows are featured in the artifact mod slots. Also available from the first encounter is the Zealot's Reward Void Rapid Fire Fusion Rifle. For PvE, you're looking to secure an auto-load and holster roll, and ideally high impact reserves in the final column, or even Disruption Break. Last year we had the Null Composure as a ritual weapon, which is on the same level here, but being able to roll for faster charge times is what sets the Zealot's Reward apart. Skipping over to the third encounter, or the Harpy encounter as I like to call it, we have access to the only kinetic aggressive frame pulse rifle in the game, the Sacred Provenance. The aesthetic of this pulse is reason enough to farm it alone, but also has access to perks such as Outlaw or Rapid Hit in the third column, paired with Kill Clip in the fourth column, making it a lethal option for PvE or PvP. By the way, an honourable mention to the Ancient Gospel hand cannon. It's the only solar 140pm hand cannon dropping in the game just now, and it can roll Rapid Hit or Outlaw with Dragonfly. Next in the weekly raid rotation is the Deep Stone Crypt. Heading straight to the second encounter against Atrax, houses two of the strongest PvE weapons in the game. The Heritage Kinetic Precision Slug Shotgun and the Succession Aggressive Frame Sniper. This encounter is very easy to farm, especially if you have a fire team made up of Titans using the Curious of the Fallen Star exotic chest piece. You can easily beat the boss in one phase and grab two chests at the end of it, and only takes a few minutes at a time. For Heritage, be sure to chase down the Reconstruction and Recombination roll, bonus points if you get Assault Mag on the same roll as well. And for the Succession, look out for the Reconstruction Vorpal Weapon roll, which is an absolute must-have. This is made even better with mag perks such as Tactical Mag or Extended Mag in the second column. I covered these both in my essential Day 1 raid weapons guide. If you haven't already, please take a look. The last weapon from Deep Stone Crypt to look out for is the Bequest Adaptive Frame Arc Sword. This drops from the final boss, and I want to add it in today as I think with Arc 3.0 coming up, this could synergise really well. Bequest is an anomaly as it has a higher base impact than all swords in its class. Pair this with Jagged Edge to boost its impact, and the final column perks surrounded, and you have one of the strongest legendary swords in the game. And the final raid in rotation, we're travelling back to the Vault of Glass raids. If you can assemble a strong enough fire team, you should take on the Master version, as this awards the Time Lost / Adept versions of the weapons. Starting with the king of PvE hand cannons, the Fatebringer. The Time Lost Fatebringer drops from the Templar boss fight when completing its challenge mode. Time Lost Fatebringer is guaranteed to roll with Explosive Payload and Firefly, which is perfect for knocking down groups of adds. Apart from the curated roll, look out for Frenzy and even Osmosis. Frenzy stacks with Explosive Payloads, allowing for 2 damage perks at the same time, and Osmosis pairs really well with Void subclasses, which allows you to create volatile rounds and pair it with Firefly for maximum destruction. Corrective Measure, the Void Adaptive Frame LMG, drops from the Gatekeeper encounter, and at the very least its curated role includes Firefly. Be on the lookout for the Wombo combo of Demolitionist paired with Adrenaline Junkie, or even One for All for an extremely reliable heavy LMG. Once you complete all challenges in Vault of Glass on Master Mode, you get access to the Time Lost Found Verdict. This is an ARC aggressive frame shotgun, which is hailed highly as one of the best shotguns for PvP in the game. The only way to get additional drops is by defeating Atheon on the Master Mode and purchasing via spoils at the end chests. For PvE rolls, this is guaranteed Vorpal Weapon. Pair this up with Auto-Load Holster and even 1-2 Punch or Frenzy in the final column, and you've got yourself a solid PvE shotgun. I'll be really interested to see how this performs once Arc 3.0 comes out. Finally, I'm going to give an honourable mention to the Vex Mythic class tier. It absolutely shreds in PvE and is super versatile, especially with its linear fusion fire modes. When Vault of Glass is the featured raid, you can actually farm the end boss over and over again until this eventually drops for you, although I've heard stories of people going 80 plus clears before they got one. Don't forget that during Deep Stone Crypt or Vault of Glass, you can save up your hard-earned spoils of Conquest and focus farm for the rolls at the end chest. I love that we have weekly rotating raids in the game now, but sometimes it's hard to find a reason to chase the older loot. I would have loved to have seen Bungie add unique origin traits to these weapons, but the ones from the list are still totally worth chasing. If you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to leave a thumbs up, drop me a comment on what your favourite weapons are from these raids, and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.